The unit that we have been studying is how we express ourselves. Our central idea was conflict leads to change. Our lines of inquiry were that cultures impact human beliefs and values. Lack of understanding of cultural differences can lead to stereotypes and discrimination. And human beings have a responsibility to reflect on the biases in society and take steps to overcome them. So as a summative assessment, the students planned either a talk show, a public service announcement, or a commercial to talk about and exhibit their understanding of stereotypes. So we have our first group here.
Welcome to the I Show. I'm Isabella, and this is my partner Isaiah.
Today, we're going to be talking about prejudice, stereotype, and biases.
Now let's bring in our first guest. Come on in, Edward.
Thank you for having me on the show today.
So what are you going to talk to us about?
Today, I'm here to talk about biases. Biases is when someone picks someone else because of their race, age, or gender.
Do you have an example?
Actually, yes. One day, I was on a roller coaster that just opened. It's called the Banana Flabba Jabba. And there was, on the first ride, there was one car left. It could hold 3 people. There was an African-American family in the front of the line and a white family right behind them. But the operators, for some reason, picked the white family instead of the black family, even though the black family was in front of them.
How did you react to this?
Well, at first I was astonished.
Did you do anything about it?
Yes, I walked at them and said, does it really matter their race?
Did you do anything else?
Yes. I said, what's wrong with you, fool?
Very interesting. Well, let's bring in our next guest. This is Maria. She's going to talk about prejudice.
Yes, I am. Prejudice is when you make a statement about somebody, about their race or other stuff.
Other stuff. Nice. Do you have an example?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was walking down in the grocery store yesterday afternoon, just past the frozen pizzas, and I heard an Asian man say that all Mexicans are stupid.
How did you react?
Inside, I was furious because I myself am Mexican. So I thought about every single Mexican that invented stuff that we use in everyday life.
What did you do about that?
I went straight up to that man and said, I looked him in the eye and said, that's prejudice. We do not need that in our society today. Go and think about what you have said.
Are there any clever things that Mexicans have invented that you want to talk about?
Chocolate!
And everyone loves chocolate. A big hand for chocolate, everyone! Well, thank you for that explanation. Let's bring in our next guest. This is Violet. What are you going to talk to us today about, Violet?
I'm going to be talking about stereotypes.
And what are stereotypes exactly?
Stereotypes are basically, even though people are different, that doesn't mean you could be.
Can you have an example?
Yes, sometimes boys judge girls on sports that doesn't like.
So just for say, what would happen if Isaiah came up to you and told you that you were a horrible basketball player? What would you do?
I would say that's not true because some girls are good at sports. But some of them are good at other stuff too. Because everybody has their own talent.
How would you feel if, say, a bunch of your friends were playing sports and then a group of boys came up to you and said, all girls are horrible. Why are you even playing?
To them, you're a stereotype. You should get to know us before you judge us.
Thank you. Well, that's all for today. We'll see you next time on the I
And I
Show.